listening to the Third Coast Gridiron on the LSG Network with your host, Marc Henry.
The playoffs are right around the corner. It's week 10 in the H, and we're going to talk a couple of big games. Also talk to our special guest, Cornell Farrakhan Jr., a class of 2025 wide receiver over at the Woodlands, who broke a big record, and he's one of the best receivers in the state of Texas, not just in the H. Right here in the Third Coast Gridiron on the LSG Network, the authority for high school football here in the state of Texas. Lots of big games coming up. Listen, it's almost playoff time. I can smell it. I can see it around the corner. If your team's in, you'll know it here after this week, man. Only 2 more weeks of the season left, and we're in the playoffs. We'll talk about that and more here on TCG, the Third Coast Gridiron on the LSG Network. We'll take a small pause for a commercial break, and we'll come right back and talk Grind and Shine Players of the Week.
With open enrollment coming soon for Medicare, ACA, Obamacare, and small group plans for businesses with less than 100 employees, if you're in need of health insurance solutions, look no further than HAP Insurance Agency. Yes, HAP Insurance Agency is a fantastic resource right in the heart of College Station, Texas. Whether you're in retirement, a business owner, or simply looking for the best health coverage option, HAP Insurance Agency has got you covered. You can find them in College Station at 1551 Greens Prairie Road West, Suite 101A, or give Holly Pritchard a call at 972-897-0814. That's HAP Insurance Agency. Do you have a party coming up or just want a special gift? Check out Nani's Sweeter Side. Yes, Nani's Sweeter Side makes the most amazing custom-created sugar cookies with your design. They also offer paint your own cookies and decorate your own cookies. Those make an excellent sweet activity that you can sink your teeth into at parties. Nani's also offers some of the most amazing cupcakes ever. You can check out Nani's Sweeter Side at nanisweeterside.com. That's N-A-N-I. Check her out on Facebook. Just look for Nani's Sweeter Side. Or give her a call at 937-499-4790. At Nani's Sweeter Side, you'll find that happiness is homemade.
Let's talk big-time performances, our Grind and Shine Players of the Week for Week 9. Jada Andrews, junior running back at Bay City, rushed for over 300 yards and 4 TDs in a big victory over Needville. Listen, this guy's been balling, a guy that you may need to pull up on over at Bay City that helped him get a big victory. Shout out to my guy Dante Lewis, senior quarterback over at St. Thomas. Listen, he's been playing phenomenal the entire season, really on a 2-year run over at St. Thomas. 22 of 27, 292 yards, 6 touchdowns. Let me say it again. 6 touchdowns. Also rushed 11 times for 153 yards, including a 91-yard touchdown. Shout out to my guy Dante Lewis, putting on a show in his senior year. Listen, Lewis is a phenomenal athlete. He's committed to Kansas State on the baseball field. But listen, I know that there'll be some colleges coming after this guy for football. He can do it. Shout it out. Big time performance by my guy Dante Lewis. Sam Mattingly, linebacker for Magnolia West. Listen, he's a Stanford commit. 6'3", 220 pounds. Recorded 17 tackles in a big victory over Terry, 33-7. Brandon Thomas over at Episcopal. He's a junior running back. Listen, he got it done. 285 yards, 5 touchdowns, including a touchdown with 35 seconds left to give them a big victory over Kincaid. Listen, this next one, man, listen, shout out to my guy Trey Morse III, senior running back, Cy Falls. Listen, he balled out last Friday, 195 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's also now the all-time leading rusher in Cy Falls history, passing one of the best to do it in the H, Kenny Hatter, who played at Texas and TCU. Well over 4,200 yards for his career. Listen, shout out to my guy over there. He's been a guest on the show, and I'm going to have to reach out to him again before he gets out of here and goes on to college, man. In 27 varsity games, he's averaging over 7 yards a carry and has 39 rushing touchdowns. Big shout out to Trey Morris III for balling out, man. He's been one of the best to do it in the state, not just in Houston in his career. Big shout out. Let's move on. Austin Carlisle at Fort Bend Ridge Point. He's been balling out this year. He's again one of the grind and shine players of the week. 290 yards passing and 2 touchdowns and a 62-7 victory over Fort Bend Austin. A couple of more guys here. Gunnar Chenier, QB at Clements. Listen, perfect in the passing game in a big 44-21 victory over Bush. Completed all 13 of his passes, 253 yards and 5 touchdowns. Cody Fuentes over at Barbers Hill. He's a guy that you might want to look at. College coaches, you got to take a look at my guy over there. He's been balling out. 21-25, 296 yards and 6 touchdowns as Barbers Hill got a big 56-14 victory over Kingwood Park. Aaron DeLeon, junior quarterback, Stratford High School. Listen, big victory for those guys over Cypress Ridge. 300 yards passing and 5 TDs, and also added 65 yards on the ground. Mason Patterson, senior linebacker for Clear Falls, 14 tackles, balling out, and 2 sacks in a big victory over Brazoswood, 42-10. 14 of those tackles were 12 solo stops, man. Balling out. Shout out to Mason Patterson for getting it done. Landon Callis Williams, he's only a freshman. You might want to pull up on this guy. He is going to be one of the star recruits coming out of the H here for the next 4 years. 2 touchdowns, 159 yards, and a big 70-19 victory over Lamar Consolidated. Also had a 20-yard touchdown catch. Listen, he's a bona fide star in the making. He's having a phenomenal freshman year over there at Randall. He's one of those guys that you definitely want to pull up on. Super, super excited for his future right here in the H-Town. But listen, we're going to talk to Quanell Farrakhan Jr. He's a junior wide receiver over at the Woodlands. He just broke a record that was held by Danny Amendola, who was, a guy that went on to have fame at Texas Tech, play for the New England Patriots, and win a Super Bowl. That's a big record. He's got over 17 touchdowns on the year, broke a single-season record over at the Woodlands. We're going to talk about that and more. Plus, they have a big one coming up against Willis this week. We'll talk to him about that. We'll pause, come right back, and come and talk to Quanell Farrakhan Jr. right here on TCG, the Third Coast Gridiron.
Hey, did you know volleyball is the fastest growing sport in the country? Yes, volleyball is exploding. And so is our coverage of volleyball. Starting in a couple weeks, the High School Volleyball Coaches Show will launch. It's going to be by myself and Mick Haley. Mick Haley, if you know volleyball, you know him. He's won national championships coaching UT volleyball, won national championships coaching USC volleyball. He coached Olympic volleyball. You name it, he has done it all. And what we're going to do, we're going to talk to the top high school volleyball coaches in the country, not just Texas, the entire country, and it's going to be great. The High School Volleyball Coaches Show coming to you very soon.
Looking to boost your company's marketing? Look no further than Fresh MediaWorks. Podcasting is the best way to promote your brand and increase your customer base. You can create your own show, be a guest on other podcasts, or advertise on existing podcasts to reach a valuable audience. Don't wait. Start elevating your marketing game today with Fresh MediaWorks. Call now, 713-269-4620, or find us online at freshmediaworks.com/podcasting.
Listen, we have a big time guest today. My guy, Quanell Farrakhan Jr. Listen, class of 2025, wide receiver. Listen, he's dabbling a little bit on defense this year. We'll talk about that and more. The Woodlands are definitely the Highlanders. Listen, 7 in a row they've won since starting off 0-2. They're one of the hottest teams in the state of Texas, definitely in the H. And we're going to talk to my guy, class of 2025 receiver, Quanell Farrakhan Jr. Quanell, what's going on, man? We appreciate you giving us a little time today.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me come on this podcast.
Absolutely, man. Listen, so let's start with the season. You guys come out, you face Lamar, you face North Shore, 2 of the best teams in the area. You start out 0-2. What was the team's mindset? Now you've reeled out 7 in a row.
Mm-hmm. I feel like, we just had to come together as a team. And, we was thinking of these two games. We wasn't really ourselves. We was just caught up in like the moment, just the game, and we wasn't just being us. So I feel like we got on track of just being us at practice and just, really just preparing ourselves, each one of our individuals, and just like getting ready for the game. So I feel like that really just helped us. And yeah, that's really about it.
Absolutely. 7 in a row is great, man. First of all, congratulations on the monumental accomplishment. Passing Woodland's great Danny Amendola, 17 touchdowns, single season record now at the Woodlands. Talk about your mindset when it goes into doing this.
I mean, I really don't think much of it, especially during the game. I don't really care about the touchdowns or any of that. I just care about when I get the ball, just make something happen. That's really all I care about. When I catch the ball, find a way to turn into a running back and do something and get your way into the end zone. That's all I really care about. And then when you start doing that, you see the records being broke, and it speaks for itself.
Absolutely. The proof is in the pudding. Now let's talk about the big win over Caney Creek this week, 62-7. You had 2 touchdowns in a 5-minute span, and then you open up the second half with a 42-yard kickoff return. Explain to me what you're looking for. Let's start with the kickoff return, because that's something that everybody's not able to do. I've heard Deion Sanders say when he was kick returning, he just wished everybody would lay down so he could see the field great. But talk about your mindset when it goes into making that play.
Really, just on kick return, I really just try to find any type of little cracks, any little crack I could find, and just take off. I'm gone. So if they just leave me just a little bit of a seam, I'm taking off with it. That's all I need. Literally all I need.
Absolutely. Well, 42-yard kickoff, 2 scores before the half. You're doing it big. Now, talk about your quarterback, maybe retire. He's headed to Wisconsin. He's been a guy that's been in the forefront of Texas high school football for 4 years. Talk about you guys' chemistry on the offensive side of the ball.
Oh, yeah. We work all the time outside of school. That's what people don't really realize, that, just the chemistry that we have on the field, it comes with work off the field. So that's what, people really don't see. But he's a dog, though. He can go. He finds a way to get the ball in my hands and everybody else's hands, too. And he can really go.
Absolutely, man. You guys have a great chemistry. Been working together for the last 2 years. Again, Quanell Farrakhan Jr., class of 2025, wide receiver, Woodlands High School. Now let's talk about the big game. This is the one that everybody wants to see. Of course, Willis is coming in undefeated, 8-0. You guys are coming in undefeated, 7-0 in district. This is going to be for the district title, all the marbles on Thursday night. Talk about the anticipation of this matchup.
Really, just like I said, remember how North Shore Lamar was? We just got caught up too much in the moment, and we got to take this game as just another game. We can't get caught up in the moment, the hype and all that. So we just staying focused right now. Stay focused, practice hard, and we're gonna let the work speak for itself on the field.
Definitely 2 of the best teams in the H, probably in the state of Texas. Both of you guys are going to be playoff bound as well. But let's talk about the recruiting trail before we get out of here. If you hadn't heard of Quanell Farrakhan Jr., you've been living under a rock probably. This is a guy that's a 4-star recruit. He's got 20 plus offers on his docket, from the likes of Texas, TCU, Nebraska, Michigan State, Penn State. You can name them. But let's talk about what you're looking forward to in a school and how the recruiting process is going for you.
Really, first things first, what I look for in a school is how they treat me, Just, the vibe when I get up there. Is the coaches treating me right? Are they not treating me right? How are they going to be able to develop me for the next level? I look for all that. So, and then my recruiting process has been going real great, super great. So I really can't complain with that. Coaches text me every single day. And I got a whole bunch of texts from coaches talking about congratulations as soon as I broke the record. And that was at halftime. So I was like, oh, damn. And it was crazy. So, yeah, the recruiting process is going super well for me right now.
Well, the proof is in your stellar play. Since we met you as a freshman, you've kind of skyrocketed and gone off to do great things. Just from a scouting perspective, you have the body type, the speed, the hands, the IQ. Your route running is superb. Those are all of the things, and your leadership qualities. I've seen you, urging your teammates on. And those are all the things that college coaches and scouts look at when they look at a recruiting. And you meet all of those and check off all of those boxes. So that's the reason that, everybody's very, very high on you. Now, last question. You dabbled on the defensive side a little bit this year. I saw you had a couple of interceptions in September, some PBUs. How does that set you up playing receiver? Because you kind of know what these receivers are doing. You can look at their body language, their feet, and that kind of those are some of the telltale signs that help you to be successful on the defensive side.
Really, it gives me an advantage because I know all the bad habits of what receivers do. So one thing I really look at is when a receiver lines up super lazy, I kind of know he's not getting the ball. But then when he lines up and straps his gloves up, puts his mouthpiece in and all that, and he lines up straight direct, I know he's getting ready for that route. So, it's just all the little tendencies that I look for.
Absolutely. Listen, man, we appreciate you for joining us here. Before we get out of here, give a couple shout outs and also your social medias where everybody can find you.
First, I want to shout out my teammates, the Woodlands High School, of course. I want to shout out my coaches. I want to shout out my friends. Just follow me on IG, Khalil.Farrakhan, and my Twitter, Cornell Jr.
Listen, man, one of the top receivers in the class of 2025, man. You get to know this guy. Good luck this week against Willis. We'll see you down the line, man. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Appreciate it.
Big shout out to my guy, Cornell Farrakhan Jr., for stopping by the Third Coast Gridiron and giving us a little time. Good luck this week against Willis. Again, that leads us to some of the biggest games in Week 10. Playoff position is going to be on the line. District championships are going to be on the line. Playoff seeding is going to be on the line in these games that we talk about this week.
With open enrollment coming soon for Medicare, ACA, Obamacare, and small group plans for businesses with less than 100 employees, if you're in need of health insurance solutions, look no further than HAP Insurance Agency. Yes, HAP Insurance Agency is a fantastic resource right in the heart of College Station, Texas. Whether you're in retirement, a business owner, or simply looking for the best health coverage option, HAP Insurance Agency has got you covered. You can find them in College Station at 1551 Greens Prairie Road West, Suite 101A, or give Holly Pritchard a call at 972-897-0814. That's HAP Insurance Agency. Hey, did you know volleyball is the fastest growing sport in the country? Yes, volleyball is exploding. And so is our coverage of volleyball. Starting in a couple weeks, the High School Volleyball Coaches Show will launch. It's going to be by myself and Mick Haley. Mick Haley, if you know volleyball, you know him. He's won national championships coaching UT volleyball, won national championships coaching USC volleyball. He coached Olympic volleyball. You name it, he has done it all. And what we're going to do, we're going to talk to the top high school volleyball coaches in the country, not just Texas, the entire country, and it's going to be great. The High School Volleyball Coaches Show coming to you very soon.
Let's start in 196A. Tompkins takes on Jordan. Listen, we've been talking about both of these teams, but Jordan especially is a team that I believe is going to make the playoffs this year. The Falcons and the Warriors are tied for third, and this is going to be a game that decides who's in and who's out. But Tompkins, right now they really need this one more than Jordan does. A loss, they already have a loss against Cinco Ranch, and a loss to Jordan that would put them in a bind when it goes to tiebreakers. I think that this game is going to be very, very good. Again, Jordan, Colin Willits has been playing phenomenal this year. Andrew Marsh, Zachariah Sample, they got some firepower over there. But Caleb Blocker is a guy for Tompkins that I really think has been underrated. They're going to have to stack the box to stop my guy over there. That's going to be a great game. That's a Thursday matchup in 196A. Definitely a game that you might want to pull up on. Now let's talk about the 136A, really de facto district championship matchup. Willis comes in at 8-0. The Woodlands comes in at 7-0 in district and 7-2 overall. Now, the Woodlands got off to a tough start on the season. They lost to Lamar. They lost to North Shore, but they've rebounded and won 7 in a row. We just got through talking to Cornell Farrakhan Jr., who's been one of the mainstays over there, that's been helping the Woodlands get to 7-2. And of course, maybe retire the Wisconsin commit. Is one of the best quarterbacks in the state. This is going to be a great contest. Willis comes in ranked 15th in the state, and the Highlanders come in ranked number 25 in the state. Some history here. Willis hasn't won a district title since 2002. But the Woodlands is looking for a little payback. This is what they want, man. This is what they do. The Woodlands has been very, very good for a long time in the Houston area. And you know that these guys are going to be jacked up for this one. Of course, Willis features one of the top offenses in the state of Texas, not just in the H. That features 5-star quarterback and Florida commit DJ Lagway. But there are some ballers on that Willis offense. Jalen Mickens, my guy DeBron Hampton over there. Jermaine Bishop Jr. They're loaded. I really, really think this is going to be a high-scoring affair. I think the Willis defense is going to be the difference in this game. And you could see this one come down to who's going to make the plays right there at the end. This is a game you might want to pull up on. I'll be having my eye on this one because it's going to be a great, great game. Again, that's at Wood Forest Bank Stadium at 7 o'clock. The Woodlands will be the home team. That is a Thursday night contest, so you'll have to, listen, you might want to get off early for this one. This is going to be one of the best games on a Thursday night that you're going to see around the state of Texas, not just in the H. So I really, really look forward to this one. But listen, we're going to talk about a couple of more games before we get to the granddaddy or one that everybody's looking at. But let's talk about Klein Collins and Tomball, 15-6A. This is a district that's been very competitive the last couple of years. Klein Collins comes in ranked number 23 in the state, and they're playing for their 9th district championship in their program history. They go on the road to Tomball, who's tied for second place with Tomball Memorial. Listen, Klein Collins, shout out to my guy Tucker Parks over there, Western Kentucky commit. He's been playing phenomenal. Listen, really, really the last 3 or 4 years, Parks has been one of the best in the H. I think he's a guy that doesn't get a lot of love probably all over the state, but definitely in the H. Listen, defensive coordinators know who Tucker Parks is. This is a guy that's a phenomenal passer. He's supremely athletic where he can get out and run when he needs to. Rodney Ojo's a guy over there that's been playing phenomenal this year. Michael Wilson as well. Klein Collins is a team that could make some noise in the playoffs. I kind of had a chance to be around some of those guys the last couple of years with KC Elite. Shout out to those guys in the 7-on-7 circuit. These guys are primed and ready for this. They won't go down without a fight, and I like this game as a big-time matchup. Of course, Tomball's very talented as well. This will be for probably the district championship. If Klein Collins wins, I think they're the forefront. They're going to be the top seed, but Tomball's also a team that can make a run in the playoffs. Both teams have been playoff teams the last couple of years, so this is a big game for everything, all the marbles. You definitely want to see this game. This might be a game you might want to pull up on. Just keep your eye on it, man. Listen, we're going to talk about one more before we get to the big one. Iowa Colony is a team that's been playing phenomenal. I've talked about Cam Renfro. If you don't know who this guy is, you might want to pull up on him. He's only a sophomore. He played last year as a freshman. He has Iowa Colony ranked number 5 in the state. They take on Bay City in a 12-4A matchup that's got some playoff implications to go along with it. That's a game you might want to see, might want to pull up on. It's also Friday night at Black Cat Stadium, a big, big game that you might want to take a look at. Shout out to my guy Cam Renfro and Iowa Colony. But listen, let's get to the big game. Everybody around the state, not just in the H, is going to be looking at.
Looking to boost your company's marketing? Look no further than Fresh Media Works. Podcasting is the best way to promote your brand and increase your customer base. You can create your own show, be a guest on other podcasts, or advertise on existing podcasts to reach a valuable audience. Don't wait. Start elevating your marketing game today with Fresh Media Works. Call now. 713-269-5600. 888-858-4620 or find us online at freshmediaworks.com/podcasting.
You got North Shore and Atascocita. These are two teams that have been on the collision course all year long, and I think this is the closest that I've seen this Atascocita team be in position to actually upset and beat North Shore. Probably the most anticipated game for 4 weeks. I've been talking about this right here on TCG the last few weeks. Zion Brown is a senior now. He's been a 3-year starter over there. They want this game. They've been looking at this game. It's been circled. They got a big-time win last week against Seed King that went into overtime. Braylon Conley got an interception in the overtime to set that win up. He's one of the best cornerbacks in the country, headed to USC. Jelani Watkins is a guy over there that's been playing phenomenal as well. You got Blaylock at running back. They are loaded. This is one of the best teams that you're going to see in the state. They're ranked number 7. And, of course, North Shore is, North Shore's North Shore. The east side, the Mustangs, led by Caleb Bailey, the phenomenal junior quarterback, DeAndre Hardeman Jr. Of course, you got Devin Sanchez, one of the most elite cornerbacks in the country. This is going to be a highly contested contest. They're rivals. They know each other. These guys play 7-on-7 together. They work out. They go to camps together. So this is going to be for all the marbles. Who's the best team in Houston? We will know after Friday night. This is a big contest. Definitely a contest that I would definitely have an eye on Friday night. It's one of the biggest games around the state of Texas, not just in Houston, the state of Texas. This is a monumental matchup. 7 o'clock, Galena Park ISD Stadium, 21-6A matchup for all the marbles. You got to pull up, man. You got to pull up to this one. This is a great, great game. I would beg to say it's a great game in the country. You know what I'm saying? If you love Texas high school football, this is a game that you want to see. And you got to go. Listen, got to pull up for this one, man. We're going to be all over this game. We're going to have eyes on it, and we'll let you know how it goes next week, man. But listen, that's it for us here on TCG this week, man. Lots of big games around the state of Texas and the Houston area. And listen, before we get out of here, since we're talking about the state of Texas, I'll talk about the big one up in North Texas, DeSoto Duncanville. 2 of the top teams in the state of Texas. That's going to be a monumental matchup as well. District bragging rights, playoff seeding going on that, man. Listen, 2 of the biggest teams. You got the 6A Division I champ in Duncanville going against the 6A Division II champ in DeSoto. Listen, bad blood, everything you want to see. Big brother against little brother. Of course, Duncanville's owned that series here the last few years. Man, definitely be having an eye on that, man, as a scout and a fan. You can't beat this with Texas high school football. Don't nobody do it better than Texas, man. But listen, man, we appreciate you listening to the TCG every week, man. The season's winding down. Listen, good luck to everybody, man, on Friday night, man. Stay healthy. Listen, you can follow me here on Twitter at Third Gridiron, also at Marc Henry 44, also at TXTP Show on Instagram and Twitter. Also, listen, man, tap in with us on the Lone Star Gridiron Network. A lot of great shows. Shout out to my guy Chris Daly for having the show on. This is our 4th season here on the TCG, and we appreciate everything and everybody that's been listening and tapping in with us. We'll get at you next week and talk about these Week 10 matchups. We out. Gia.